All right. Good morning, Panther fans. How's everybody doing this morning? Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate the five of you who did in the last review with Stu. Thank you so much. Um, Stu's got his happy victory cigar. I think he's happy this morning. I don't know. That's not a smile.
Good win, good win.
Well, we'll have to see what's going on.
I'm ready to address the Carter Verhage thing.
Oh
So
boy.
let's
Oh,
get let's do it. Let's do a quick recap, and then I'll address the elephant in the room, and then we could talk about whatever. All right. So Randy Moller, my man, made a very big point on the broadcast last night, and that is keep Ovechkin off the scoreboard, and we
right,
win the game.
right,
And this is the second game in a row that we've blanketed pretty much a superstar. Ovechkin, after Crosby, is the number 2 Panther killer in the franchise history. He's always stuck it to us,
right,
especially on the power play. And I noticed that on the don't even want to talk about all the stupid penalties that we took. But
right,
anyway, on the power play, they were cheating to make sure that they were in distance of, getting to Ovechkin and not allowing that one timer, which is we know is deadly. So
right.
hats off to the PK. Hats off to the 5-on-5 for just, doing what they needed to do. I mean, that was the game plan. And obviously Ovechkin didn't score and we won the game. So,
Right, right.
um,
So, yeah, we've had this routine now a few times. It was starting off where we're just out shooting the other team, just dominating, and then slowly but surely they catch up. Now, the good thing about yesterday, the thing that was different yesterday was that we managed to get that second goal because a lot of the times, we've been up 1-0, we're dominating, and then one mistake and the game is tied, and the fact that we've been dominating doesn't matter. So we got that second goal to start second period, which ended up coming in handy because, of course, Washington came right back and scored. Um, so
pretty
that
wild how we're I mean, it's great. We're coming out at the opening whistle, opening puck drop, and we're just taking it to these teams.
right,
I mean,
right,
one
right.
of these games we're gonna get 3 and 4 goals like we did in that Carolina game, but you know,
Yeah, the shot placement is still not great. Um, excuse me. I wonder if Maurice, and he probably is, Maurice, it would make sense to me that he's preaching just hit the goalie and hope for a rebound because that seems to be more like what his game is. Um, dirty goals, etc., more defensive style. And we're hitting the goalie. We're not missing the net. Problem is we're hitting the goalie right in the belly button and he's just swallowing the puck and there's no rebound. Which of course, though, okay, we get a face off in the zone if he holds the puck. So it's not a bad play. Um, Different than what we've seen before, obviously, but not much, obviously nothing to complain about there. I want to talk about Bobrovsky's play a little bit. Um, there
hey,
wasn't
first, just Barkov's shot didn't go in the breadbasket. Did you see the whip on that stick? Did you see the flex on that? I mean, that's what
yeah.
Ekblad needed to do the other game with Edmonton.
Bled always breaks
Just
his
take a
stick when he
freaking,
does
just
that.
take a snapshot or a wrist shot. Still frustrated that he took a slap shot from that close. Okay, Barbabruski,
Bobrovsky, yeah. Um, this is
number one
not the
star of the game.
Yeah, this is not the first time that we've seen Bubba um not play well, and then Spencer says, "Oh, okay, my job," and then Bubba says, "Yeah, nah, not yet, not yet, but that's good. It's good. It's good to keep
Didn't
that gas right under Bubba's ass."
didn't I say that? He's on the bench stewing.
Right,
Use
right,
that word, no pun intended. He's got his pride, and he doesn't like the fact that this young kid might be threatening his number one job. So
right,
I
right, right,
kind of had a feeling he was going to come out
right, and that's
and
fine.
that
That's yeah. Yeah, that's good for us.
Too bad that, it takes that to get him motivated.
Right. Well, it's a natural thing, I think, last year
But
when he
well,
started
yeah,
last year when
I was just going to add one thing. I'm sorry. The team hasn't played that great in front of them. So anyway, go ahead. Just had
right,
to add that.
right. And I remember we saw that a lot with Drieger, where it just seemed like the team wasn't playing as well in front of Bobrovsky, and people were saying that was the only reason Drieger was having success. Um, and he hasn't exactly lit it up since he left here, so who knows? But
Is he even playing?
I know last I checked, I believe he still is, but I mean he's not out of the league or anything. But last year was just like this mess, well, of injuries and whatnot. So I honestly I haven't checked up on him so far this season. But I looked at the standings before the game, and I had to catch myself because I mean the entire with the exception of Boston and at the top and Ottawa at the bottom, like almost the entire division was either 19 or 17 points. I mean, it's just absurd how tight the standings are. So on one hand, I get that Maurice is saying, wins and losses aren't incredibly important right now. He just wants to get the system of play, but you do have to win. You do have to stay at an above 500 pace. You got to win two or three. You want to win two or three, lose one, while you're still figuring things out. Um, I like I like the second line, which apparently now is Lundell with Lomberg and Reinhardt. I'm not a huge, massive fan so far of the Bennett, Lutzterainen, Colin White line. It doesn't seem to be clicking the way that we'd like. And, a lot of this is going to change when Duclair comes back, which of course, how he's going to come back, I don't know. We don't know. We've been waiting all summer, and I'm done trying to figure out what the hell's going to happen.
Eric,
Yeah,
the solution to that is move Lusterranen back with Lundell and Reinhardt and move Lumberg on the Bennett line. That's it. The
don't think
chemistry, I mean,
I don't.
Lusterranen doesn't even look like he did when he was playing with Lundell.
Well, there's another angle there, and that is that if Kachuk wasn't playing well with Bennett, and then Reinhardt wasn't playing well with Bennett, and now White, Lutzterainen don't look so great with Bennett. What's the common denominator?
I don't think I don't.
I'm just saying. We say the same thing about Barkov. We say the same thing about Barkov. I'm just saying. I'm not saying Bennett's playing bad, um, but we are. It's the chemistry is not slotting
Oh,
in as easy as it has in the past. Let's put it that way.
okay. So you put Lumberg on, give him a shot.
Well, that's move to me. That's moving Lomberg down.
Not
I don't know.
really.
Well,
The guy was playing fourth line minutes, bro.
well, yeah, but he's looked good on the second line too. You know what I
He's
mean?
going to
I
look good anywhere. The
right,
guy works like a dog, and he's got a shot. And if it's going to be for the balance and for the good of the team, I'm just saying, I don't know why Maurice even moved Lusterranen. I know he probably did it to balance things out, but
right.
I think Lusterranen was a perfect replacement for Marchment.
I think
Maybe
I
not in the physical department, but he's got all the tools
right,
that
right,
Marchman had as far as corner play and
right.
passing and shooting. So I
I
would just switch him around and give it a shot.
right. Well,
I don't
I
think
mean,
that Bennett line's playing that bad, quite honestly, but we
right.
have a different take on it.
It just doesn't look as it doesn't look it hasn't looked in sync. We'll just put it that way. Um, and look, when Duclair comes back, that's the other thing because Kachuk, I mean that top line, I had the Washington feed last night, because I live so close to Washington. And at the end of the game, the announcers for the Washington team said that they felt like that Barkov, Kachuk, for Hagee line would be one of the best lines in hockey. And I'm starting
They
to
had
not
9
really
points last night.
right. So if you're not going to put Duclair up top now, okay, um, it's a good problem to have when he comes back. But of course, we're also going to lose a player when he comes back, right? So it's going to be interesting to see, because you've got to know Maurice is thinking that in the back, in the back of his mind right now, where he might just be trying different combinations of guys, because he knows in the back of his mind who he's planning on losing when
I'll tell you
Duclair
where
comes back.
Duclair winds up. With Bennett.
Duclair in a third line, eh? Well, I mean, to play himself into
Wherever,
shape.
whatever, third
Right,
line, second line, whatever.
right.
He goes with Bennett. I mean, remember they had Huberdeau, Bennett, and Duclair
Yeah,
at one point last year.
yeah.
I don't split up the Barkov line right now. That line's working
No.
good. Okay, so let me address.
Yeah, let's go.
Let me address. Okay, so I'm going to refrain from the PH label in the future, because every time, and maybe I should keep doing it, because every time I say it, he gives me the finger and scores
Yeah,
2 goals.
exactly.
I still don't like, sometimes he holds on to the puck too long and tries to make the play all by himself instead of dishing it off or whatever. But can't take nothing away the fact that he's our leading goal scorer
Right.
and he's scoring big goals when we need him. And I mean, he definitely has Washington's number for sure.
Yeah.
But that second goal, I mean, talk about class. Because
Right.
Kachuk could have scored that.
Yeah.
He could have shot the empty net. Just goes to show, not only being a good teammate, but I think he dished it off to him knowing he already had 1 goal. So it was,
Right.
an easy one. But I mean, Kachuk continues to impress in just his play, his spirit, his teammanship, whatever. I don't
Right.
even know if that's a word, but I mean, Barkov does the same thing. So
And that's the other end of that, the other half of that. And I'm just gonna say it because you sent me something on Instagram, and then I'm looking at the Calgary Flames fans are in full meltdown mode. It's full meltdown mode. They are infighting. They are blaming this one and blaming that one and blaming the. They are in full meltdown mode, and because is it Sutter or Suter? I always get them mixed up.
Sutter,
It's Sutter. Okay.
Daryl
I'm
Sutter,
always, however I say it, I'm always thinking it's the other way.
Ryan Suter with 1 T,
Okay.
Daryl
Okay.
Sutter and
Sutter.
Brent
Okay.
Sutter
Yeah.
and Dwayne
I
Sutter,
mean,
the Sutter boys.
I've heard it a million times, but when I say it, my brain automatically says, no, it's the other way, no matter which way I say it. So he had a press conference, and if nothing, if I watch it just for the press conferences, it's just beautiful, and he just is laying into these guys because they're asking him about some players that I guess he benched in the third period, and he didn't mention anybody by name, but I know a couple games ago that Huberdeau had been knocked down to the third line. I don't know if he got moved back up or what, but um our fan base and our concerned Panther fans, this is my point. You guys have seen some fans be a little bit concerned about the team and everything. We got nothing on the Flames fans right now. They're just in full on meltdown mode. I mean, seeing a lot of complaints about the long-term contracts. And so I just popped into the Instagram feed, and I said thanks for Kachuk, and I saw myself out the door.
Here's the comment. Here's the comment that was priceless. and I'll paraphrase, quote, I don't care who it is. If you're not giving effort out there, you ain't going to play.
Right.
Now, didn't we say that with our coaches, like Brunette benching Uyghur or whoever benching Yandel or whoever? And they never did it.
Right.
Whatever. So respect. Daryl Sutter's just one of those coaches that, and I love how he shuts down the press by saying, look, you guys keep asking me about individuals.
Right.
Ask me about the team as a collective, because
right.
It's a team.
Right.
It's not one guy, whatever, two guys that make the team. Yeah, listen, Kachuk is thriving. We knew he would. He said he would. And we talked about Barkov and what the trade did to him mentally and emotionally. Same thing with that. What do you think's going on in Huberdeau's head?
I think that's the thing, is that when you look at Barkov, he has Kachuk next to him now, right? So, I mean, obviously it's not going to be the same friendship that he had with Huberdeau and everything, but
not yet.
I mean, but Batman got a new Robin, you know what I mean? I mean, you took Huberdeau from him, but it's like, hey, look, here's a new toy, right? You know what I mean? But Huberdeau just kind of got like plopped there, and Uyghur's not going to be a line mate or anything like that for him. So Huberdeau's just, he's supposed to be the guy. You know what I mean? Barkov had a little bit of pressure taken off of him because Kachuk's kind of supposed to come in and be the guy. But Huberdeau just got plopped where he's supposed to be the guy. And that's never really been his personality. He's always been a great asset and a great addition to make other players around him, better. But I think between being moved there and who he replaced and the size of the contract, he's probably feeling a ton of pressure, and he can't just go fishing on the boat in the ocean.
I was going to say, just think about the environment and the circumstances. He goes from living on the intercoastal, going in his pool after practice, maybe sitting out on the deck.
Calgary forecast.
And then he doesn't have his blue Lamborghini or Ferrari to drive around with.
It's 31 and snowing today, and tomorrow the high is 18 and it's 9 for the fucking low.
There you go. So
and that is what's wrong with Huberdeau right now.
Wouldn't you be depressed?
Well, yeah. Look, I lived in Alaska.
Money don't buy happiness.
Money don't buy. No, man. No.
It's good to have it in the bank, but there's other factors. And I think him basically thinking it's a done deal. I'm getting re-signed. I'm getting, the same contract as Barkov. And then all of a sudden the rug's pulled out from him. Sorry, Johnny boy. We've traded you to Calgary. Can you imagine that kid's head blowing up?
Like, what's the temperature down there right now?
It is 76 and sunny.
So fishing on your boat.
A couple of puffy clouds.
Damn it.
In the sky.
You ruined a perfect mood, right? Just a couple of puffy clouds. Sorry, brother. I mean, look, I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him because when I was born and raised in Miami. When I went to the Air Force, they sent me right to Alaska. And I got there in June, and the sun doesn't go down. And everybody's like freaking out, like it's the best thing ever. And nobody's sleeping, and they're out playing, and they're doing. And I'm like, what? It's 80 degrees. Well, what's the big deal? Well, by about the second week of October, I knew what the fucking big deal was. Okay, because we had 6 freaking foot of snow by Halloween. I was like, oh, that's why nobody sleeps over summer. So I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at what I remember happened to me.
It's time to bring out the sled dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, it's not only about what happens on the ice. We know that.
Right.
Some say that, Trocheck went downhill when he got married and had his kid.
Right. Yeah, life comes, changes us all. I hope he
But
does well.
of course,
I'm not happy that he's not doing well. I'm laughing at the Calgary fans because all we heard after the trade was we won the trade. Zito's a punk. That's all we heard. And it's not like we've been killing it, right? It's not like we're like Boston, who's like 42-2 or some crap like that. We've had our issues, but Kachuk is killing it. And I'm not dropping the mic because still a lot can happen this early on in the season. But it's just interesting how they went from in the space of 6 weeks, they went from, oh, you Panther fans, yeah, you got a bunch of hate, you're salty, we won the trade, to an absolute full meltdown mode on their own.
yeah. Well,
That
listen, there's another factor for the meltdown. Johnny Gaudreau jumped ship.
right,
Their best player.
right,
Not only did they lose Kachuk, but they lost Gaudreau
right,
for basically nothing.
right.
So I'll tell you who the hottest team in the league is. Unbelievable.
It's the Devils.
New Jersey Devils,
The
undefeated.
Devils.
I think they're 11-0.
I think it's at least 10. It's at least 10.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, no.
10-0 yesterday. So
Was
they
it?
beat
Oh,
Montreal. They beat Montreal, I think, 5-1 last night.
jeez. I know.
5-1 or 5-2.
You got Devils and then the Islanders. Somebody show me where they predicted that, because even Jostradamus didn't have that one. You know what I mean?
Maybe they'll come back to earth. All I know is, all right, we lost. The Edmonton game really smarts because we're a better team than they are, and
Right,
over the course of the last few years, they've beat us in games that we know we should have won, and
right,
those games hurt us. Like
right.
at the time we lost them, I remember 2 years ago, I think, maybe three. There was that span in January where we lost to Edmonton and we lost to Ottawa, and then we went up and we lost to Toronto, and that was basically the season.
Yeah.
Changed the whole season. So
Right.
anyway, forget about
Right.
that. Good win last night. Bobrovsky looked sharp. So we
Yep.
got who we got tomorrow? St. Louis, I believe.
Is it St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay. No, actually, it's the Stars tomorrow. We get Mason Marchment
Dallas.
tomorrow. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We get this, and then Saturday at 4 o'clock, another Saturday afternoon game, but that's the Flames. That's
Yep.
the Flames. So
Going to that one.
that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
And then we're right back at it on Sunday at 6 o'clock on the road against Columbus. So we've got a twofer this week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward, obviously, to Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll see.
These are-
We'll see what happens in the matchup. The three players are going to be all pumped up. Let's
Yeah.
see who comes out. I'd like to see Kachuk get the hat trick. That would be a fine time for him to score some goals.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But I think we're getting our money's worth with him, don't you?
Well, this was the other thing I wanted to look at. I wanted to,
Three
because I
more
saw
assists
this.
last night.
Yeah, he's on a pace, and this is just. I mean, he's still on the pace. He's got 15 assists in 14 games. So he is.
Did they add the 3 assists in from last night?
I believe it says 14 games played. I don't think that's including last night.
Yeah.
No, it says it says it here as it's got it here. I thought we played 15. Oh, but because he missed the two games because of the suspension. So
yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of games played, he's at a pace to at least hit or maybe break Huberdeau's record of assists from last year. Go figure.
Listen, he got Barkov going, so that's the most important thing.
Right.
Barkov
look,
definitely looks better.
I know that you think Verhaeghe's a puck hog, but you got to figure, when we're watching Verhaeghe circle around and everything, and next time, because I know you like to focus in on things. Next time he's doing that, instead of focusing in on him, I want you to, and I don't know what the answer to this. This is a question, but I want you to focus in on what the opponent's defense is doing, because
Okay.
you got Barkov and Chuck on the ice too, right? So if you're the other team's defense, who are you making sure gets covered, right? Are they, when he's circling around, are they coming after him, or are they leaving him some room to take a shot because they're afraid he might pass it off to Barkov or Kachuk? Just keep an eye on it, because I there's got to be a reason. You got to figure there's going to be a mismatch somewhere, because that's a lot of guys. Because part of Verhaeghe's got his sweet shot, and then but you got Barkov and Kachuk over there who can kill you. So I'm just curious what the other team's defenses are doing when he's doing that.
Okay, but my main bitch is he's got two defensemen he could drop the puck off to for a shot. So I'll
Well,
leave it alone. I'll leave it alone for a couple of games and
right.
stay, objective, and let's see what happens. I just would, I can't believe there's no one out there that watches this podcast that doesn't agree with me. And I'm not saying he does it all the time, but he does
Right.
it. And it just irritates me. That's all.
Well, hey, look, we're grumpy old men. We get irritated easily. You know what I mean? You know, for one day 30 years ago, we woke up and we had an ache and a pain, and it never went away, and it just got worse. And it just keeps getting worse. So,
Anyway,
that's why they call it grumpy old men. All right. We really appreciate all the support. Um, what's today? Today is Wednesday. I don't think I'm gonna have,
Wednesday,
yeah.
16th.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have much out the rest of today. Kind of take today off. If anybody, thank you all for coming out to the stream last night, despite the fact that Kyle and I were so crispy because we took Matthias back to the airport on Monday, and that was a whole 5-hour extravaganza with traffic and almost missing his flight and all of that. So by the time yesterday came around, Kyle and I were pretty toasted crispy. We were so toasted we finished off a box of Entenmann's donuts on the stream. That's how fried we were last night. Okay, we were just done, man. So I think we're going to sleep a lot today and kind of catch up.
I want to tell you, so, in the morning before I do this thing with you, I watch the NHL Network and, they review all the games. They had some really good things to say about the Panthers that, we're starting to get it together and,
Right.
we might not have the firepower like we did last year, blah, blah, blah. But that guy, Mike Kelly, he's definitely a pro Panther guy. And he said, look, you know, don't count the Panthers out, pretty
Right.
much.
Right.
He's expecting the Panthers to get on a roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't seen it yet, but
No, they will. They will. It's coming. They're going to lose
I
some
don't.
games that last year we wouldn't have lost because we're not going to get 5 every night. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But come playoff time, nobody's getting 5 every night. They're all 3-2. And so I like I like his theory of like, look, we've got enough firepower. We've got to learn how to play playoff hockey during the season so that, because you called it, you saw what happened. We were killing everybody. Then we took those couple of days off and we never looked the same again. We scooted by Washington because Bobrovsky and the fuck hog, and then we never won again. And that's
yeah.
the biggest thing. Is like it's not like I don't even feel like we played a second round because we never won again. And that can't happen. So
Nope. Hey,
I'm
listen. Just want to point out the fact that even before we scored the empty net, we got Bob's 4 goals.
right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping they were going to pull the goalie again because I said 6-2 in the preview, not 5-2, but they didn't cooperate.
Whatever. Now, I think Dallas played Nashville last night. No, I don't
Yeah,
know.
Marchment got a
Maybe
goal last
Nashville
night. I think that
played.
was his
Maybe
fifth.
Nashville played Minnesota. I don't know, but Dallas is a good team.
Yeah,
Can't take
yeah.
them lightly.
No, we can't take any of these
Jamie
teams.
Benn's on a roll, and Joe Pavelski's the Panther killer for that team.
Yeah, no doubt there, no doubt there.
So
All right.
It'd be
We
nice,
appreciate
be
all-
nice to win these next two games and go on the road on a good note.
Yeah, we can't lose Saturday. Can't lose. That's not an option.
Oh,
Not an option. It's not an option. No, no. If you guys want to see the first meltdown rant of the year on the recap, if we lose Saturday, it's coming. Because you can't,
don't
I
even
don't,
say.
I don't even, I don't even
say it.
care about the Thursday game or the Sunday game. You can't freaking lose Saturday. That's the law as laid down by Jaws. That one, no.
I just want to see
Because if
Uyghur
we
trying
lose Saturday, they're gonna come for me in the comment section and I'm gonna blame the team personally.
I want to see Uyghur try to stick handle by Verhage, Barkov, and Kachuk, and have
Yeah.
Barkov steal the puck and throw it over to Verhage, who throws it over to Kachuk, tic-tac-toe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Uyghur's
Yeah.
got his head down.
Yep. Yep.
All right,
guys.
Brian.
Yep. We appreciate the support. We'll see you again soon.